Alright, we're live.
Okay, hello. We are live at Queen's Landing. What did you guys think of the episode?
Well, here, first let's introduce ourselves.
Obviously. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm Gabby. I'm the co-founder and editor at theyoungfolks.com, and I'm here with Melissa Byrne, who is a writer for The Young Folks, and they're our co-hosts for Queen's Landing. And today we're joined by Allison Johnson, another writer and editor for The Young Folks. So we're really excited to talk about Game of Thrones, the new season. And our main goal here is to bring a female perspective to a show that not many people, well, I mean, a lot of people love, obviously, but I guess it seems to be a male-dominated conversation media-wise, so we kind of want to bring our own little flair to it. So, ladies, let's talk. What do you think?
Go ahead.
I don't know. Who wants to go first?
Allison, go ahead.
I think Allison is like...
Okay, so what I thought of overall, because I feel like Game of Thrones... Okay, it's okay. Awkward first stages. But I think that Game of Thrones tends to have, like, hit or miss first episodes of their seasons because they tend to just, like, reintroduce us to every single part of the world that they're playing with. And I thought that this time they did it rather well, even though they still did it in the same kind of structure that they've always done, where they kind of just give us like 5 minutes with each character. So while I'm kind of tired of that same method of storytelling for each of their season openers, I thought this time was certainly better than last season, where I felt like you barely got time to spend with each character. But yeah, I didn't think it. I was kind of tentatively excited about the season because it's kind of event television. So I get excited to watch it with people, and I watched it with all my roommates and everything. And so I was excited for that aspect of it and the social commentary, but I didn't know if I was going to like it very much. And I was pleasantly surprised that I wasn't like, waving my arms and shaking my fist at the television screen for like half an hour. Find out. Is this the first episode that it took until the end of the episode for like them to show nudity, or at least female nudity?
It seems like it was. I mean, I was actually like kind of forgot about it because when the show starts, they list like all the things that make it TVMA, and I'm like, oh, there's a little bit of everything this episode, and yeah, and then at the end, I was like, oh god, they're gonna show her, and then when I saw that was an old lady, I'm like, oh god, we're gonna see that. But yeah, I agree with a lot of the points Allison made. I really liked this episode. I think it really worked well as a premiere. It kind of reopened a lot of the storylines and touched base on everything and sort of set them up for what's to come, which I liked, but it was also at the cost that you didn't get to spend that much time with each person or each main character. So, I kind of miss that. I kind of miss like spending a little bit more time with them, but I understand what they were trying to do.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with a lot of the things that you guys were saying. I really did enjoy the season opener. I thought it was really well done. It was really good. I really liked that we got to see really every character right where they left off. It did feel kind of brief, especially for Arya, because she's one of my favorite characters, and I kind of wanted to see more of her Daredevil lessons going on. But I'm sure we're going to get more of that as the season progresses. But overall, I thought it was a good season opener. I really liked it.
Yep. So, was there anything that you guys didn't like? I think I kind of said, like, I didn't like that we didn't spend that much time with the characters, but, I mean, for a Game of Thrones episode, it was rather...
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of characters, and the cast is huge. So I think, considering that, they did a pretty good job of giving us what each person wants. Like, because some people could really be invested in the Stark storyline, or the Lannisters, or Daenerys, or what's going on at the wall, and they were able to give all of that on the first episode. So I thought they did a pretty good job with that. So I don't really have any real complaints about this first episode. Really.
I mean, I always have complaints, but I thought, I mean, I really hate what they're doing with Dorn. Like, I actively am frustrated. Probably that story is playing out.
We should let listeners know that you are a book reader, right?
I am. Oh yeah, I do read the books, but that's not just why I'm annoyed by it.
Me and Gabby are not, because I want to say that I actually liked what happened in Dorn. I just didn't expect that. I thought that was like kind of. That was kind of badass, because I just feel like she's justified in her anger. From her perspective, Doran, who's the prince who's overseeing Dorn, is not doing anything. She feels like, his sister got murdered and raped, his brother got murdered, and he's still not doing anything about it. He's just there sitting in Dorne, not wanting to start a war. War brings death and
which makes sense.
Exactly. So, and I feel like she is justified in wanting to start this war with the Lannisters, even though I probably feel like she probably won't live through it, but I feel like she's justified.
Well, that's not my problem with Dorn. It's not like that I don't understand her motivations. Mm-hmm. My problem is that it's the only time where Game of Thrones feels like it's a cartoon. Like, everything is exaggerated in Dorn. Like, the dialogue becomes 100% more cornier. Like, the performances are really over the top and really hammy. And it's just like, I feel like they're only doing things in Dorn for, and did you just say the accents?
Yeah.
Are exaggerated too? Is that true? Okay, because I haven't heard the actor speak in real life, but like, I know, the guy who played Oberyn kind of like really played into it and had the Inigo Montoya thing going on with like, you killed my father, like, so like, I feel like that's not that surprising that they're kind of all like really laying it on thick, and it just kind of makes it feel like it's not even a part of the same show. So I definitely don't like Dorn, and I really wanted to like Dorn because all it is badass ladies like taking what they want. So like, ideally.
I wasn't a huge fan of the Dorn storyline last season, admittedly, but it's kind of pulling me back into what could be an awesome storyline for a different part of this world. So I kind of enjoyed what I saw. And yeah, I really liked the Dorn opener for this one.
I mean, I didn't really. I mean, I did notice like the exaggerated elements of Dorn. But...
He's not in here.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I thought I heard you from the alley. Like you're sorry.
We interrupt this program.
This is why men aren't allowed in the podcast.
Well, about Dorn, I mean, there's pretty much going to be no more men there. I'm joking. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like, I kind of always got that vibe from Dorn, and I thought that was kind of how it was supposed to be in the books. Was like Melissa said, I hadn't read them either, so I mean, I really have no idea. I mean, Oberyn was the one who introduced us, so the fact that Dorn is the way it is made sense with how we were introduced to that character, and then through him that world or that area, whatever. So, but I mean, I was very surprised by what happened. The thing is, I don't particularly like any of those characters. Like,
true.
That's the problem. And I mean, I think they're badass and everything, but I just don't like them. I mean,
they were introduced so late in the show, and that always makes it hard in the first place. Like, I feel like there's very few characters who are introduced past season 2 that I like actively enjoy scenes of them alone. So it's already an uphill battle, but then to make them so like thinly drawn and unlikable, it's like, Cersei isn't likable, but we like watching her and we like watching what she does. But the Sand Snakes, like, I don't even know if I can name them. Like, like, I feel like they are so like they are a singular like entity on the show, and like just meant to be there to like cause chaos.
Be
And
like
like
the
I
wild
just
cards.
yeah, like it's just like what I don't see their purpose, and I don't see how they're really adding to the story. So I agree. Since I don't like them, I'm not I'm not very invested in them at all. Like I'd rather go see the development now between Sansa and Brienne. Like that is so much more intriguing to me.
Yeah, I was so excited when Brienne showed up with her
Oh my
sword.
god.
And like just like yeah, because when they caught her, I'm like, okay, this is the moment. This is when Brienne needs to come in, and she did.
Yes.
I know.
That
That was
was
like
an amazing moment. I feel like I was almost about to cry when Brienne laid her sword on the ground and like pledged her loyalty to Sansa. That was amazing.
yeah, it was a hero moment, and the show doesn't get many of them. So I really dug that.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, and I mean, again, I'm really excited to see where that goes. I did feel bad for Cersei when she found out her daughter died. And I mean, yeah, she's not a likable character, but at the same rate, I mean, I feel bad for her for some reason. I don't know why.
You're the
For
opposite of me.
Cersei,
I feel no sympathy for that character. That's how much I hate her.
Really, you don't like Cersei at all?
No, I don't.
I mean, I don't like her, but I don't like. I don't even know. I guess I
I think
respect
she's
see,
a
her
lot of
good.
fun to watch. She's a lot of fun to watch. Lena Headey kills that role. I believe she deserved that Emmy, last Emmys. But when her daughter died last season, I was like, because I knew that it was gonna hurt her. So
see,
I was like,
I'm like the complete opposite, but this might be where my like being a book fan comes into play because in the book, Cersei is like one of the most intriguing characters because you see why she is how she is and like how like living in this men's world and like how she's been kind of stripped of power so to speak by being a woman has like completely compelled her to be how she is and as hard as she is and to trust nobody at all. So like in the books it's so much more interesting to see her play with these like power complexes and everything, but I also think Lena Headey is like pretty terrible sometimes. And I thought her when Joffrey died was one of the worst pieces of acting that the show has ever done. And I had to wonder tonight if like the show purposely cut away from her having any reaction to her daughter dying because they didn't want to see like the bad acting again. Because like she just couldn't handle it. Like she was so like it was like, you know, your kid just died in your arms, like, you know, I don't know, suffer a bit. But like so I wonder if the show like pretty strategically was like, we'll show them after she's found out.
I don't know. I never thought she was that bad. I mean, and it's never something that stuck out to me that she was a bad that she.
Well, I didn't think she was that bad either until she was given a big emotional scene like that. Like I've always thought she was relatively serviceable. I thought that her end at the end of season 2 in Blackwater, where she's like telling the story to her kids, I thought that was really powerful. But I think she plays with like intimidation really well. I think she does empowerment really well and like being like kind of just a threatening force. I don't think she does emotion, like really deep, like kind of wrenching emotional scenes very well.
I don't know. I guess I have to look into that. I mean, I thought her final moments in last season when she was walking,
the
the
walk of shame.
yeah, I thought she
Yeah,
did. I mean, again, I mean, thinking about it, did it require a lot of acting? I don't know, but
yeah.
again, I always felt she never felt like the weakest link, and I mean,
Oh, certainly not the weakest link.
but at the same rate, I mean, I guess maybe a lot of her acting choices I just attribute to how the character is, and without having the background knowledge, because like I mean, when you come at it from a book perspective, not to say that your perspective is wrong or anything, but
We know.
you read the book and you have the character kind of fleshed out in your mind. So, and this happens to me too because I read a lot of books and watch movies based on them, and usually the actor's interpretation of it is kind of off kilter to how I had read and experienced that character before. I know. I mean, I don't know if that's the case for you. I mean, I'm not.
I think it makes me judge how the character like the character itself a little bit more. Like I think it makes me look at the character on screen and like I kind of give her more depth based on what I've read.
Mhm.
But I don't enjoy her any less because of what I've read. I kind of just project what I know from what I've read onto the character. But I just think that the actress, again, she's not the weakest link. There are plenty others on the show that like I would be happy to like call out. But I think she just like they need to work with her in what she does well. And that's why, again, I think, the scene that she had tonight with Jamie was very good, but it wasn't like a breakdown emotional scene. And I think if they had stayed on her longer and seeing her daughter come to shore, I think that's what would have been required for like the scene to make sense. But no, I really like Cersei. I just think I like her more on the show because of what I know in the book.
Which makes sense. How about you, Melissa? What are your thoughts on Cersei? Or any of the actors? Like, do you think there's any actors that are like not as good, or maybe just someone that popped out to you?
That is not as good to me. Well, I kind of said my piece about Lena Headey. I think she's great in it. I feel like part of the reason why she may not be so emotive in that role is maybe because that lays within the character in the show. I mean, I haven't read the books, but she has to always kind of put a really tough guard up because she's surrounded by these men and she's after power and she loves her children and wants to keep everyone protected. So when she had that scene with Joffrey dying, that was obviously a very traumatizing experience for her, but at the same time, she is like the queen and everyone's around her, and she has to keep in mind, she has to keep up this kind of ruse about being all proper and guarded and tough at the same time, too. So I feel like that plays into it as well.
Yeah. I mean, for actual actors on the show, I think Emilia Clarke is pretty terrible 90% of the time.
See, I was going to say that too, and I didn't want to upset people because I know she is a fan favorite.
The character is.
The character, I think she delivers some lines kind of awkwardly.
Yeah, I thought she was better tonight, but like that could have been because she was speaking all in Dothraki. So like, it might take a little extra.
It was so cool hearing her speak Dothraki again. I was kind of excited about that. It was kind of like coming full circle back to season 1 when she was learning the language and really kind of fearful, and now she's talking down to this Paul who thinks he's gonna sleep with her that night. She's like, no.
Sleep with her, rape her, like let's be real.
Lie with her.
No, that's not what that was gonna be.
Send her to a convent or whatever.
I know that's not gonna last. But yeah, can I just make like a small thing that like I would really like to happen on the show? Can they just like dye her eyebrows? Like, why are they like? Wouldn't it make more sense for her to have?
I feel like it'd look weird if she had like blonde platinum eyebrows.
But you don't think it's more weird that she's like really dark ones when she's supposed to be like, I don't know. It's a small thing, but Emilia Clarke acts a lot with her eyebrows, so like it makes it really noticeable. So I don't know that, and they need to give Cersei a better wig, and Jamie needs to get out of his like 20th century like haircut. Like, I don't know. I have a lot of hair issues on the show.
Like the hair and makeup of Game of Thrones.
It's like, I feel like, I don't know, their budget has definitely gotten bigger. So, like, they could just, update the wigs.
Update the wigs. So, I think it's really hard for wigs to look natural. I mean, there's a lot of, like...
Yeah, wigs are either a hit or a miss.
I think a lot of it too is based on that person, like the shape of that person's head. Honestly, like, I mean, I think the way it would lay on you, it's just, there's like a natural way for it to. I don't know. I mean, that's what I would imagine. Not a wig. No. I've never made a wig or worn one.
I know.
So.
Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe they all look really super awesome. I just thought that a lot of their hair looked ridiculous. That's okay.
I mean, I like her dark eyebrows and her light hair just because, I mean, it's kind of like a Madonna thing, and I don't know, I just like it. And
I don't use it, so it doesn't really bother me.
Yeah, I mean, and I've noticed it, but like
It's
I think it works as symbolism because like she's this maybe like naturally dark, but she has this like really light hair, so it means that there's something off about her. There's something different.
you made this so deep. Oh my god, you just like turned this whole shit around. I'm totally on your side.
I totally justified hair and makeup decision.
That was a good save, Gabby. Well, I want to ask you guys more questions going deeper into the episode. We're going to have different segments of the show every week. We're going to ask our guests different questions. And our first segment is called Week of the Week, where we pick our least favorite character of the episode. Week of the Week means somebody you picked that you were kind of disappointed in, or somebody that you think generally sucks at the moment. So, who is your Week of the Week this week, Allie?
I'm like, somebody like I just don't like, and I want to like
based on
have a good turnaround. Ollie.
That's a good pick.
A little shithead. Like I just.
Okay. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. Okay.
No, there's no devil's advocate.
Wait.
Ollie is the worst.
He's a piece of shit. But to me, just for discussion's sake here, I feel like I can see it from his point of view. I mean, he's a little kid, so he's kind of. I blame him less than I do the adults who were in the Night's Watch because he saw his family killed and eaten by these wildlings.
Wow.
And then if he sees Jon Snow helping them, he's like, I can see it from his point of view. He's kind of feeling betrayed. Well, why would you do that? They killed my family. They ate my family. They destroyed my village. Why would you do that? I blame more so of the brothers of the Night's Watch than the kid who just doesn't know any better.
No, because I don't blame the Night's Watch as much because like we know they're like terrible people. Like they're at the Night's Watch for a reason. So like I'm not surprised by them being awful, but like Ollie's a kid. And, like, it's just, I don't know, his, like, smug little face had, like, Jon being dead made me so annoyed.
Yeah, like, he didn't look, like, remorseful or anything. I mean...
It's frustrating. Like, it's just, like, it's a character that you just know is there for that purpose of being, like, he takes him in as his ward, and then he turns on him, and then, like, after he does, it's like, okay, Ollie, you can, like, exit the show now. Yeah.
And your Week of the Week, Abby?
I don't know. I mean, Ollie's a good choice. I mean, not necessarily that I want this person to make it. Well, I would like this person to make a turnaround, but I doubt he ever will. So out of irony, I would like to nominate Ramsay. But
Simon from Vegas has come so far.
He was like, he had such a nice, tender moment, and then he's just like, oh no, just feed her to the hounds. I'm like, yeah, okay. So I think like if he was real and he knew that I nominated him as Week of the Week, he would really hate that and probably try to kill me in a gruesome way. So I get some satisfaction out of that. Not out of being killed, just out of annoying him.
But then you would die.
Yeah, well.
So my Week of the Week is Jaime Lannister, and let me tell you why.
Oh, why?
I am so tired of him and his twin incest. I just feel like we saw like a big turnaround with him and Brienne and their wonderful journey and their story. I love that storyline so much. We got to see a whole new other aspect of Jaime. And then he goes back to King's Landing. He's all like, nobody matters but us, okay? And I just feel like, really? You really feel that way? She's a terrible person, and he knows she's a terrible person,
but
and he's
so
still
is he.
he's still in love with her.
But wait, wait.
I'm waiting.
Jaime is just as terrible as Cersei. Like, I don't know if we all forget the fact that he pushed a little kid out a window because they caught him having sex with his sister.
No,
that definitely happened. I like Jaime. I'm interested in Jaime, but, like, I don't want people to think that, like, Cersei is somehow worse. Jaime's pretty freaking terrible as a human being.
That's why he's my Week of the Week.
they're bad in their
I know.
ways. I mean, they both have like slightly redemptive qualities, and you see it.
The only thing she has redemptive is that she likes her children. And that's it.
But they
No, it's the fact that she
At
like.
least Jamie stabbed the king, the Mad King, because he was trying to save people, okay? And he saved Brienne from the bear pit.
Because he like felt like he had to. It was like
No,
one
he
heroic
He
moment.
really didn't have to. And he saved her from being raped by those guys the night they got killed, and the night he got his hand chopped off. He didn't have to save her.
Yeah, but the whole difference is that Jamie has like been like groomed to be this knight, and he's gotten the chances to be this knight and get to be like to go off and save people. Where Cersei has very much been told, you're gonna be a bride, and you are gonna follow what your husband says, and you're gonna live in this man's world that totally rules over you. So like at least her bitterness like rings true. Like you get why she would be like gung ho about like protecting her own and like pushing everybody else away. Do I agree with her? No, because she's crazy. But like you get
All the more
what her
reason why he
mindset
needs,
is.
all the more reason why he needs to separate himself from his sister. Just separate himself. I'm over the twin stuff, so that's why he is my rave of the week. I'm so sick of seeing him being in love with her. Jesus.
That's his like. I mean, she's his ultimate weakness. So, and I'm not saying that I think there's anything kind of romantic about it. There's not. It's just like, it's just time and time again. It's proven that Cersei is like his flaw.
The love of his life. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing that is, and I think he gravitates towards her, and he can't help it. And I mean, I think. Sorry. No, I just think there's times that like, I mean, he kind of breaks away from it, especially when he saved Tyrion and did some things, but he comes back, and I think he's gonna end up dying for her in one way or another.
I feel like I hope they segregate. I hope they separate. I hope she's just left alone. She has nobody. She ends up committing suicide or something.
I mean, I have my own theories about what's gonna happen between Jamie and Cersei, and they're like totally just like fan theories, so I don't think they're spoilery because we don't know if they're gonna happen.
It's just speculation.
Yeah.
So like, I totally think Jamie's gonna kill Cersei for reasons.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I mean,
no.
that would be really
I would love that.
insane.
But again, it just all depends on if like I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna happen in the show. I think I'm more convinced it's gonna happen in the books. Like the show might deviate a little bit from what my thoughts are. But yeah, I think they could have a really interesting ending, so to speak, to their story whenever that might be.
Mhm.
So we'll see.
Love that theory. I'm all up for Jamie killing Cersei. Alrighty, and our next segment is called Lady or Lord Commander of this episode. So who do you feel owned this episode? Who was your MVP? Allie?
Brienne, like hardcore. Brienne was the MVP, followed close behind by Davos being like really sassy. But no, it was Brienne because again, her getting the hero moment just felt so well earned, and her laying down her sword once again, and Sansa actually like accepting her help and accepting her being her knight, so to speak, was just, it felt like it like I feel like Game of Thrones doesn't earn these type of moments, like these big, possibly character defining moments, and I think this one was really, really well earned. I thought that the build up was perfect, and I thought that it was emotional, and I thought seeing Brienne like just totally decimate that entire group with a little bit of help from Pod, but you know, I thought she got the best like heroic big entrance moment.
Yeah. I think that was the first time we saw Podrick fighting, was it?
I think so, with any kind of capability, yeah.
Yeah.
I loved it because he was there by her side helping, you know, he had a sword and was on his horse risking his life. It's pretty cool of Podrick.
Yeah. Well, Brienne is also my lady commander, commander of the episode. For the exact same reasons. I mean, I don't really have much more to add. I just think it was like the only moment in the episode where you're like, yeah, you know, and like rooting for her, you know, her, and like you said, it's so well earned, especially after all of last season, and it was like, come on, it had to happen, and it finally did. she finally like freaking saw that candle or whatever and went for it. So I was really happy for her, and like we said earlier, really excited to see how her relationship with Sansa develops and where they end up going.
Definitely, I'm super excited to see them together finally and forming this alliance. My Lord Commander of this episode is actually Theon, and that's because I feel like we got to see him be heroic in a way that we've never really seen from him before. He's always been kind of this shitty character, and then we saw him completely get decimated by Ramsay Snow, but then he finally grew up here and did the right thing and saved Sansa last season. And I just can't get over that scene where he was basically risking his life when he decided to leave Sansa by the log with the snow, and then he was going to go back to Ramsay's men and the Hounds, knowing probably for sure that he was about to get murdered and killed because he did what he was not supposed to do. So I think he did something really, really brave, and he ended up also helping Brienne and Podrick kill Ramsay's men. And I felt it was a really heroic and a really redemptive moment. So that's why this week he is my Lord Commander of this episode.
Yeah, Reek really
No, I
did
agree.
make a redemptive arc. Reek is no longer the Reek.
To
Well,
see
Reek
if
is
he
not-
like continues in this like path. I'm just curious to see if like Theon kind of like further climbs out of his like Greek shell a little bit throughout the season. I think it'll be much more interesting to see Theon interact with Sansa again rather than Reek.
yeah.
But this is a dynamic between all three of them that I am very interested to see play out. And I was glad that Theon had a moment where he was like, whatever, I'm going to go divert them and let you live because that's the right thing to do.
I know, I love that moment. I was like, oh, come a long way, man. Okay, in our next segment, we have Swing the Sword. This is a segment where each of us are going to take our swords and swing it to somebody we wish would die. And since all the great swords have names, we have actually named our swords. So, Allie, what is your sword's name, and who would you use it to swing on?
So first about the swords, right? I went through like 3 different ones, and like I had Ginger Fury. That was one. I had Firecracker. That was a suggestion after I'd been angry about something. And yeah, that happened. But I decided to do Ginger Snap.
Ginger Snap is your final one? Okay, tell us why.
Because like you snap a neck. But it's also funny because it's a cookie. And I'm ginger. So yeah, I thought it was a fun little play on words. Like make something so sweet and innocent like deadly.
So who would you use Ginger Snap on?
Ramsay! Like, I'm so sick of him. Like, not even just because he's, like, a despicable character, which he is, obviously. Like, they really make sure to reinforce that idea every single episode that, like, he is evil. God forbid we all forget. But, yeah, no. So not only do I want to, like, kill the character just to kill the freaking storyline, but, like, he's also just terrible. Like, it's pretty simple. I just hate him. Like, I hate his scenes. I like the actor a lot. I loved Misfits. And I want to see him go do other characters who aren't just, like, thinly drawn psychopaths.
Is that who he plays in Misfits too? Psycho?
I guess he was, like, a little
He was a little
not...
small.
Yeah, but then everybody forgot it in the season 2 when he dated that girl, so, you know. Nobody cared. I forget her name, sorry, but I loved her. But, yeah. So, I want to know other people's swords' name now that I just had my Ginger Snap swing.
Gabby, go ahead and tell us your sword's name, and who would you swing it at?
Okay, I thought a lot about my sword's name, and I didn't come up with a name, but I have a few ideas. I think one was like Singing Faith, because I did it on one of those like name generators for swords.
Oh, you actually went and like thought this through. I just asked people for things that reminded them of me.
I I didn't think it through. I did a Google search like maybe 20 minutes before Game of Thrones started.
Google's a great tool. Oh my god.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, well, originally I was gonna like be a joke and call it Jeremiah because of that Apple TV commercial that the guy who plays Jamie Lannister's on,
Mhm.
because he says Jeremiah like that, and I was like, it's so weird how you say that. So I was like,
So would you have to say Jeremiah as you swing the sword?
maybe Jeremiah.
Like battle cry, but it's like really awkward
But you
Yeah.
have to whisper it.
everyone.
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah. So maybe I'll do that. Kind of sounds mystical.
What was the final name?
Okay, we'll say Jeremiah for fun.
Jeremiah?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a nice
Okay.
name.
I like it.
Alrighty.
Okay,
So who
and
would you
then-
swing Jeremiah to?
Alistair, what's that guy's name?
Alistair.
Alistair, from the One Night's Watch, the one who started the betrayal of Jon Snow, which I did not appreciate it because it was sad, and Jon Snow's so beautiful, even in death. Just all that beautiful curly hair.
Oh, that beautiful curly black hair.
See? That was a character where the hair department did not mess up.
No, they did a very good job. Oh my
Perfectly
god.
Well,
coiffed,
that's his
even
real
in death.
hair. He doesn't have a wig, so he's better off.
Yeah, so yeah, that guy, because I was very, and then he was like so contradictory because he's trying to like reinforce loyalty after he
Mhm.
like committed treason, and I was like,
Can't trust anyone.
I was just like, no, you need to die, and I hope they get those wildlings. And Ghost, oh, he's like my Lord Commander, if I can pick a Lord and Lady. 'Cause I like Ghosts. I like dogs and wolves.
Commander. No, I know. He was actually almost mine too, Gabby. I was like, that's how I'd be reacting.
Yeah.
Like, cackles up.
So yeah. How about you, Melissa? I'm excited because I know you've had your name for a while.
Okay, so my sword's name is Dawn, and let me tell you why. So I know that thousands of years ago, the White Walkers had roamed Westeros, and it was called the Long Night. So that's why my sword's name is Dawn, because everybody in this entire world is ignoring the fact that there's a bigger issue called the White Walkers that are coming. So my sword will be made out of dragon glass, of course, so that I can defeat the White Walkers, and I would bring the dawn, because
We were supposed to think about what it was made of too.
No, I just did that myself.
Well,
you know
like with my cookie crumbs. Like,
I picked the name and then I picked the story behind it. Because oh, this makes so much sense because of the long night. So yeah, so my sword's name is Dawn, and I would swing Dawn also to Alistair Thorne because I feel like he's the biggest piece of crap. He is just. He was saying this big speech how he loves the Night's Watch. He's very loyal to it. He always obeyed orders. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, except for the fact when you betrayed your Lord Commander. He stabbed him in the back, on the side, and the front. And I really, really hope he gets his own little stab action this season. That's what I would swing my sword to.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you there. But I do like the fact that you thought of the kind of symbolism behind your sword, unlike me.
no. I just thought I was supposed to like relate it back to like my own temperament.
I didn't even
So I guess
know-
isn't great.
It's like picking Harry Potter wands, only swords. And Game of Thrones. Sorry, I didn't mean to mix my fantasy.
It's easy to blur the lines.
Right.
And Emma Watson and Emilia Clarke both do the eyebrow acting, so it gets even more cross. Oh my god, it's so distracting.
Now I'm distracted by it because I never really noticed it before.
I know, I just pointed it out to you.
Yeah,
That's
thank
all
you
you're gonna
for
be
that.
able to notice.
No.
I've noticed her
You're welcome.
eyebrow acting because she has some very luscious, thick eyebrows, so I've noticed it. But I've enjoyed her performance.
Okay, I think we should also kind of ask, is Jon Snow gonna come back? Like,
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes. Yes.
It's just a matter of them really making us work for it. I feel like it's not going to happen until like episode 5, 6.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be barricading that room for like 5 episodes. But
But But the thing that sucks about that is you keep anticipating it, so you're not really paying attention to anything else.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
since I am so sure it's going to happen, I'm
Yeah.
like not anticipating it. So I'm like, okay, guys, have your fun. Yes, he's dead, but like, we like there's no way, and they wouldn't be making such a big deal of it. They wouldn't have the dire wolf like howling at the beginning if it wasn't be supposedly like symbolic for perhaps John warging into Ghost, and like Melisandre being there and having a huge chunk of the storyline. Like they're preserving his body for a reason.
Can we talk about that? I'm sorry. She's an old lady. I didn't know this.
Oh. Okay, she's definitely haven't had a nude scene in the last couple seasons without that damn necklace, where she has not been old. So that might have been a continuity issue.
Does that happen in the books? Is she old in the books?
No. Want to know why? Because the show has surpassed us. So I think I got spoiled tonight on a book that's not going to be released for another 10 years at this point. But yeah, no, that has not happened yet in the book.
According to the showrunner, she's actually centuries old. Who knew? I didn't.
I know, I wasn't expecting that, but I'm not surprised. I mean, when I saw that she was old, I'm like, oh man, she's one of those. I mean, that's all I thought of. I was like, okay.
I feel like she looks
Those old people.
Yes.
That was like a symbolism of her like succumbing to feeling defeated and depressed. So I feel like how can she be the one that actually brings John back to life if she's feeling that she's
I think it was more the opposite effect, is that she's showing that she can bring him back to life because she's centuries old and she has seen shit, and like she totally understands what needs to be done to bring him back. Like she has seen so many wars and so many lives be lost to this kind of thing. I think she is totally 100% going to be the person who brings him back.
Yeah,
like there's actually no question to it to me.
I just thought of something. Like, now that you're saying that, I think she knows that she might have to sacrifice herself in order to bring him back.
No, I think that'd be interesting.
Right, because she looks so dejected at the end of that episode.
That's what I'm saying. She looks like she's defeated completely.
So yeah. I think she knows that in order to bring him back, because she knows he has a destiny. She saw him in the fire or the flames or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think she knows that if she really believes her beliefs, she's going to have to do that, and maybe she doesn't want to because obviously she's lived for so long. And
I think that covers your green site, which is our other segment where we kind of predict a character or storylines, where it's going. And Ali, do you have green sight for this season or this episode?
I'm worried Sansa's pregnant. So that's the thing that I'm thinking about.
Oh, I thought about that too. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's not so much of a prediction as like a stress-inducing thought, but like I think she's pregnant with Ramsay's son, which would kind of in a sense benefit her now because she can be like, I have the heir to Winterfell, and like the true heir, not like Ramsay.
But then the baby would be a Bolton, so that would be like another war, I feel like.
Not necessarily, because he's a bastard.
Yeah.
Who was corrected by the bastard Tommen.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think it might be.
Well, I think his dad's new wife is pregnant, so if she has a son, then that's the real heir to the Boltons, whatever.
Yeah, so I think her having a son could actually potentially help. And I also think that for I don't know how much you guys knew about in the books. There's this character, Lady Stoneheart. It's not going to happen in the series. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sansa's going to take that storyline. I think she's going to go through Winterfell and exact her revenge against those who didn't help the Starks.
So you think she's going to die?
No, I think she's going to kill people.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not sure. But I think that could be a really interesting.
She's going to rally the Stark loyalists somehow, some way. She's going to rally them and then bring them on to Winterfell and kill her some Boltons. Yeah. Maybe have somebody replace Ramsay.
Yeah, we'll see that happening.
But yeah, I definitely think she's pregnant. So that sucks.
I feel bad for her.
I know, that would suck. I kind of thought of it too, to be honest, but I really hope she's not pregnant with his son.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Poor thing.
The show loves its women.
Yeah. Really.
Mhm.
Well, I guess we should wrap up, right? I think we
Yeah.
can.
Does anybody have any afterthoughts? Oh, let's rate the episode. I guess from letters or numbers.
Numbers.
Numbers? Okay, so from a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, rate the episode.
7. Pretty decidedly. 7.
I would say like 7.5, 8, maybe 8. But if Cinth was pregnant, I'll backtrack to 7.5.
Okay.
I'd say like an 8. 8.
Yeah.
It has room to improve in my mind, so all you can go is up is the positive way of thinking. All that can go down is a more realistic way of thinking after last season. But hopefully this is the start to a stronger year for the show.
Well,
Definitely.
fingers crossed. Alrighty, well, thank you everyone for joining us, and we'll see you next week and Sunday after Game of Thrones at 10:15 Eastern. Alright, bye.
Bye. Thank you for joining us. Follow us on Twitter, TYF Official.
Yep, Twitter, and visit theyoungfolks.com. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.